In the history of heroic animals, there are tales that seem almost too incredible to be true. Stories of loyalty, courage, and an unbreakable bond between humans and their animal companions. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most astonishing of these stories. A tale from the heart of the American West that proves courage knows no species. This is the story of a horse that didn't just face danger, but charged directly into a blazing inferno to save a life. It was the summer of 1871, in the rugged landscapes of the American frontier. Life was tough, and survival often depended on the strength and reliability of your horse. For a young cowboy named Jack, his horse, Comanche, was more than just a mount. He was a partner, a friend, and his most trusted ally in a wild and unforgiving land. Comanche was a magnificent stallion, a mix of Mustang and Morgan blood, known for his intelligence, speed, and a spirit as untamed as the territory they roamed. One sweltering afternoon, a dry lightning storm swept across the plains. A single bolt struck a cluster of sun-baked pines, and within minutes, a small spark exploded into a raging wildfire. The wind, relentless and hot, fanned the flames, pushing a wall of fire directly towards Jack's small, isolated ranch. Jack and a few other hands were out on the range, miles away, trying to round up stray cattle before the storm hit. They saw the smoke plume rising in the distance, a terrifying column of black against the gray sky, and their hearts sank. They knew immediately where the fire was headed. Back at the ranch, the situation was desperate. The only person there was Jack's younger sister, a spirited girl named Lily, who was tending to a newborn foal in the main barn. The fire was moving with terrifying speed, devouring the dry grass and sagebrush, creating a deafening roar that sounded like a freight train. The air grew thick with smoke, and embers began to rain down like fiery snowflakes. Panic set in among the ranch animals. Horses whinnied in terror, kicking at their stalls, their instincts screaming at them to flee. Lily, though frightened, was brave. She tried to lead the horses out of the barn, but the smoke was too thick, the heat too intense. The main doors were already engulfed in flames. She managed to get a few of the younger horses out through a side pen, but the barn was quickly becoming a death trap. The newborn foal, too weak to stand for long, huddled in the corner, terrified. Lily refused to leave it behind. As the roof began to creak and groan under the heat, she knew they were trapped. Miles away, Jack and his men spurred their horses, racing against time. But the fire's pace was monstrous. As they got closer, the sheer scale of the disaster became clear. The entire ranch was surrounded by a curtain of fire. It seemed impossible that anyone could have survived. Jack's heart shattered as he saw the barn, the heart of his home, with flames licking up its sides. He screamed his sister's name, his voice lost in the roar of the fire. But amidst the chaos, one horse refused to panic. Comanche, who had been with Jack, seemed to understand the gravity of the situation. His ears were perked, his eyes fixed on the burning barn, while the other horses shied away from the heat and smoke. Comanche grew agitated, stomping his hooves, not in fear, but in something else. It was like a fierce, determined energy was building inside him. Suddenly, before Jack could even react, Comanche did the unthinkable. He broke away from the group. With a powerful snort, he lowered his head and charged. He wasn't running away from the fire, he was running directly towards it. Jack yelled for him to come back, thinking his horse had lost its mind to fear. But Comanche didn't slow down. He galloped straight for the burning ranch, a lone, dark figure against a backdrop of orange and red fury. He navigated the treacherous ground, leaping over burning logs and dodging falling embers. He reached the side of the barn, where a section of the fence had burned away, creating a small, perilous opening into the corral. Without a moment's hesitation, Comanche leaped through the gap, disappearing into the thick, choking smoke that enveloped the barn. Jack and the other men could only watch, horrified and stunned into silence. They were sure they had just witnessed their brave horse charge to his death. Inside the inferno, Lily was on the verge of passing out from the smoke. She was crouched over the foal, her dress singed, tears streaming down on her soot-stained cheeks. The roar of the fire was deafening, the heat unbearable. She had accepted her fate. Then, through the swirling black smoke, she saw a shape, a powerful, familiar silhouette. It was Comanche. The horse made his way to her, nudging her forcefully with his head. He then turned to the terrified foal, nudging it as well, urging them both towards the opening he had come through. Lily, given a sudden surge of hope, understood. She grabbed the foal's halter, and with Comanche leading the way, they stumbled through the smoke-filled corral. The horse acted as a shield, positioning his body between them and the worst of the heat and flames. They reached the broken fence line. Comanche pushed Lily and the foal through the gap first, then leaped over the burning timbers after them, his coat singed and smoking. Once clear of the immediate danger, he didn't stop. He continued to herd them away from the fire, pushing them towards the relative safety of a nearby creek bed. Only when they were clear of the smoke and heat that he finally stopped, turning to look back at the ranch as it was consumed by the flames. Moments later, Jack and the others found them. Jack couldn't believe his eyes. His sister was alive, the foal was safe, and standing beside them, exhausted but resolute, was Comanche. The horse was covered in soot, his mane and tail singed, and minor burns marked his powerful flanks. But he was alive. Jack ran to his horse, burying his face in his neck, overwhelmed with gratitude and disbelief. Comanche had done what no human could. He had defied every instinct for self-preservation. He had voluntarily charged into a blazing fire, a place of pure terror for any animal, guided by an incredible loyalty and an intelligence that went beyond simple training. He knew Lily was in that barn, and he risked everything to save her. The story of Comanche, the horse that crossed the fire, became a local legend. It was a testament to the profound and mysterious connection that can exist between humans and animals. It wasn't about training or instinct. It was about a bond of love and trust so strong that it could conquer even the most primal fear. Comanche lived a long and celebrated life on the rebuilt ranch, a living symbol of heroism. His story reminds us that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes the greatest courage can be found in the heart of a horse. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Comanche's incredible bravery, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing true stories. What's the most incredible thing you've ever seen an animal do? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.